everybody, hope you are all doing awesome. Welcome to this book video. This book video is my March book haul, and I have a huge stack beside me here from a variety of places: bookstores, little libraries, thrift shop, op shops, Kmart, Big W, online, the whole kit and caboodle. And I came prepared this time. I have my glasses so that I can read the blurbs without going, oh, what does that say? Okay, so it's gonna be a long one, so settle in, get a drink or a snack or whatever, or chill and relax, and we'll run through them all. Yeah, I did splurge, but there's some great bargains within the pile as well. So the book club that I'm a part of locally, there was one member, they were giving away a few books, and which was very kind, of course. And I have always wanted to read this book. It's A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I actually haven't read the book. I've seen pretty much every version of the Christmas Carol movie form wise, and my forever favourite one will always be the Muppet Christmas Carol. But I have never actually read the book, so it's nice to get it for nothing. And next November, December, I will definitely be reading it. You guys probably know the storyline, but in case you don't, on the back it says, "Bar humbug, Mr. Scrooge is a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, miserable old man. Nobody stops him in the street to say a cheery hello. Nobody would dare ask him for a favour. And I hope you'd never be so foolish as to wish him a Merry Christmas. Scrooge doesn't believe in Christmas, charity, kindness, or grace. But one cold Christmas Eve, Scrooge receives some unusual visitors who show him how very mistaken he's been." So yeah, that will be awesome to read and to get it for nothing as well, a gift. You guys may have watched my recent little library tour. Thank you so much for all the views on that, by the way. If you haven't, just scroll down a little bit and you'll find it. I found 2 treasured books in the little libraries. One I have given to my mom, because she loves reading as well. If you saw the video, it was the Flying Doctor's True Story book. I'll try and put like a picture up or something somewhere if I remember to do so. If not, it's just a series of Flying Doctor's stories about rescuing like injured people in the outback to give them medical care. And then the second one that I got in the little libraries was Girl in Between by Anna Daniels. And this was the awesome find that is actually signed and autographed in there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. Because it's by an Australian author as well. So yeah, it's got a cute cover too. So yeah, that was my little library finds for March. And then we have a couple of online books, which are actually a couple of my current reads at the moment. These are from Angus and Robertson. The first one was a purchase for my online book club, which is my planning friends, and I didn't have the book already, so It is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. I just realized I didn't read the description of Girl in Between. I will go back to that in a second. And by Julie Murphy, If the Shoe Fits. This one I have been meaning to buy for ages. I just never clicked the buy button and followed through with the purchase. But it was obviously meant to be in March so that I could get this book as well. So yeah, before we read those blurbs, let's just jump back to Girl in Between and I'll read the blurb of that one. So Girl in Between is about a girl in between relationships, careers and cities. Lucy is facing some awkward truths like her mum's obsession with Cher, her father's unsolicited advice and the debilitating that there's more cash on the floor of her parents' car than in her own bank account. Thank goodness for Lucy's crazy best friend Rosie, who's around to cushion reality with wild nights at the local hotel, escapades in Japanese mud baths, and double dating under the Christmas lights in London. But will Lucy work out what she really wants to do in life and who she wants to share it with? So that's the description of that one. I apologize for knocking that up a little bit. Boyfriend Material description says, wanted, one a fake boyfriend, practically perfect in every way. Luke is tangentially and reluctantly famous. His rock star parents split when he was young, and the father he's never met spent the next 20 years cruising in and out of rehab. Now that his dad's making a comeback, Luke's back to the public eye, and one compromising photo is enough to ruin everything. To clean up his image, Luke has to find a nice normal relationship, and Oliver is a nice normal as they come. He's a barrister and a vegetarian, and he's never aspired a moment of scandal in his life. In other words, perfect boyfriend. Unfortunately, apart from being gay, single, and really in need of a date for a big event, Luke and Oliver have nothing in common. So they strike a deal to be publicly friendly fake boyfriends until the dust has settled. Then they can go their separate ways and pretend it never happened. So that's the description of that one. And as I said, that's one of my current reads. The same with If a Shoe Fits, which I'll read now. Cindy loves shoes, a well-placed bow, or a chic stacked heel in the form of self-expression. As a fashion-obsessed plus-size woman, she can never find clothes that work on her body, but a special pair of shoes always fits just right. With a shiny new design degree but no job in sight, Sydney moves back in with her stepmother, Erica, the executive producer of the world's biggest reality dating show. When a slot on before midnight needs filling at the last minute, Cindy is thrust into the spot, showcasing her killer shoe collection on network TV. Seems like a great way to jumpstart her career. While she's at it, why not go on a few dates with the eligible suitor? But being the first and only plus-size contestant, before midnight turns her into a viral sensation and a body-positive icon overnight. Even harder to believe. She can actually see herself falling for this Prince Charming. To make it to the end, despite the backhand compliments, conniving producers, and a house full of fellow contestants, she's not sure who she can trust. Cindy will have to take a leap of faith and hope Her heels and her heart don't break in the process. So that's that one there. Yeah. Next up, we have a whole heap of books. So I went into Big W, of course. A lot of my books come from Big W. And I really loved the fine print when I read it in February. So I decided to get the rest of the Jane Lamb Billionaire series, Terms and Conditions, and the Final Offer, so I could have them on my shelf for when I get to them. Yeah, so Terms and Conditions is about Declan and Iris, and it says, Declan, I'm destined to become the next CEO of my family's media empire. The only problem, my grandfather's inheritance clause, fulfilling his dying wish of getting married and having an heir seemed impossible until my sister volunteered for the job. Our marriage was supposed to be the perfect solution to my biggest problem, but the more we act in love for the public, the more unsure I feel about our contract. Caring about Iris was never part of the deal, especially not when breaking her heart is inevitable. And Iris says, my plan to marry Declan was simple in theory. Move in together, throw a wedding, have a baby. We set rules to prevent any issues. Once they were never meant to be broken, no matter how much Declan tempts me. But what happens when our fake relationship breeds into the real one? Falling in love was never an option, at least not for me. So that's Terms and Conditions. And then Final Offer, which is like so chunky, is about Callahan and Alana. I'm the Kane brother everyone gossips about behind doors. Trust fund brat, washed up athlete, high functioning alcoholic. No one knows the real me but her. Lana, my childhood best friend, the only woman I ever loved. When I broke her heart 6 years ago, I promised never to return to Lake Wisteria. I kept my word until my grandfather's will changed everything. To receive my inheritance, I was tasked with spending summer at the family lake before selling it. The request was simple in theory. My entire plan blew up on the first day. Turns out Lara just doesn't live in the house, but she claims to own it too. Alana, falling in love with Callahan was a mistake. He told me so before destroying my heart and our friendship 6 summers ago, when he promised never to come back. I foolishly believed him, but then he showed up again, intending to sell his grandfather's lake house. The biggest flaw in his plan, my name is on the deed. So yeah, looking forward to getting more into that series because I loved the first one. The next book I was so lucky to get, it was like the last copy on the shelf, so I was like, quickly grab. It's the most popular book around at the moment, I think, Icebreaker. I haven't read it yet, but I'm looking forward to it, by Hannah Grace. On the back it says, Anastasia has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA. She has drive that few can match, and as she enters the 3rd year on the Maple Hills ice skating team, everything is going according to plan. Nothing will stand in her way, even the captain of the ice hockey team, Nate. Nate's focus as team captain is on keeping his team on the ice, which is tricky when a facilities mishap means they are forced to share the rink with the ice skating team, including Anastasia, who clearly can't stand him. But when her skating partner gets injured, Nate looks like her best option to advance in the competition. Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried. After all, she doesn't have time for a relationship, right? So yeah, looking forward to this one. It will be my first sports romance, so yeah. Hopefully very soon I'll get to all of these. I've got so much to read. The other book that I picked up was Shadow Me. I just picked up the first book in the series. I could not pronounce the author's name for the life of me, so I'm not going to try. It's a very different genre, like a dystopian book. So I just wanted to get the one, see if I liked it or not. It says on the back, no one knows while Juliet's touch is fatal, but the re-establishment has plans for her, plans to use her as a weapon. But Juliet has plans of her own. After a lifetime without freedom, she's finally discovering a strength to fight back for the first time and to find a future with the one boyfriend she thought she'd lost forever. In the electrifying first book in the Shadow Me series, the author presents a riveting dystopian world, a thrilling superhero story, and an unforgettable heroine. So yeah, I'll check this one out, and then if I enjoy it, then I'll grab the rest of the series sometime in the future. The other book that I picked up in BW was Lucy's School book, the one that recently came out in March, Things We Hide from the Lights. Unfortunately they didn't have the first one in there, but I did pick it up at the bookstop shop. Gorgeous covers these books are. I've never read a Lucy School book before, so it's going to be interesting, and they're really, really chunky, so hopefully we'll be right. But this one is about a police chief, Nash, who's known for two things, being a good guy and the way his uniform accentuates his rear end. But two bullets put a dent in his charm, and he's now facing a criminal still on the loose and in town, full of citizens that consider the law more of a guideline. The last thing he needs is the leggy, smart-mouthed Lena moving in next door, making him feel things he doesn't have the energy to feel. Lena is on a mission. As soon as she gets what she's after, she has no intention of sticking around. The town of Knockamount has other ideas. Soon she finds herself stuck in small town life, dog sitting, saying yes to bridesmaids' dresses, listening to the sexy chief of police in the shower. But when Nash discovers Lena's secrets, these friends become enemies. Those sparks flying between them don't know the difference between love and hate. So yeah, I'm keen to get into Lucy's School books. Also, I grabbed kind of a childhood book, a favorite childhood book of mine. In March I was reading a lot of middle grade books, and because I was on that line of thinking, I was thinking of this Roald Dahl book, which is Matilda, and I felt like rereading it at some point, and obviously it will be a super quick read when I do, but I love the story on Matilda, and yeah, so I just grabbed it while I was in Big W. and one day I'll get to it. I then went to Kmart, and the only book that I got that trip was 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Mortarati. A lot of people in my local book club, they like the author, and they really like the Apple one, whatever it's called. It's not on here. Apples Never Fall, and they also like Big Little Lies as well. But I thought I would start with 9 Perfect Strangers because it's also a movie or a TV show, I think. So on the back it says, the Health and Wellness Retreat promises total transformation of 9 city dwellers to keep drop of their literal and mental baggage while enjoying their relaxing hot stone massages. The resort director is a woman on a mission to reinvigorate their tired bodies and minds. These 9 perfect strangers have no idea what is about to hit them. And that just excited me more than the ones they mentioned. So yeah, grabbed that one. I then went to the bookshop, local bookshop, to grab the other Lucy School book that goes with the pink one. Things We Never Got Over. I'm sure everybody knows what it is. Yeah, I really like these covers. It's a really thick one. Hopefully I won't be daunted by that. So yeah, obviously I'll read this one before the other one. This one says, bearded bad boy Baba prefers to live his life in the way he takes his coffee alone. Unless you count his basset hound, Waylon Knox doesn't tolerate drama, even when it comes in the form of a stranded runaway bride. Naomi wasn't just running away from her wedding, she was riding to the rescue of her estranged twin to Knockenmount, Virginia, a rough around the edges town, where disputes are settled in the old unfashioned ways, with lists and beer usually in that order. Too bad for Naomi, her evil twin hasn't changed at all. After helping herself to Naomi's car and cash, Tina leaves her with something unexpected. The niece Naomi didn't know she had. Now she's stuck in town with no car, no job, no plan, no home, with an 11-year-old going on 30 to take care of. There's a reason Knox doesn't do complications, high maintenance woman, especially not the romantic ones. But since Naomi's life imploded right in front of him, the least she can do is help her out of her jam, and just as soon as she stops getting into new trouble, he can leave her alone and get back to his solitary life. That was such a long description on the back. Sorry it was so long. While I was in the book shop, I also grabbed this book, which I just finished actually. Matthew Perry's Men, My Friends, Lovers, and Big Terrible Thing. I will give my review in my April wrap up, but I will say briefly that this is really, really good. If you can't get the book, the audio is actually done by Matthew Perry too, and I actually listened to that and it's really good as well. Yeah, so I won't read the description, but yeah, it's about a big terrible thing, his life, from childhood up to his current days, and it's done really, really well. I'll fill you in more on that with my wrap up from the month that we are in, April. And also at the bookshop I got Dark Mode, which is a very popular read at the moment. So it says, is it paranoia or is it someone watching? For years, Imogen has kept her life offline. No socials, no internet present, no photos, safe. Until one day she stumbles on a shocking murder in Sydney Laneway. The victim looks just like her. Coincidence? As more murders shake the city and she increasingly drawn out from hiding, Bria is forced to confront her greatest fear. She's been found. A riveting psychological thriller drawn from true events. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And the last one from the bookshop, I sort of splurged and treated myself to this absolutely gorgeous edition. It's got like grey and floral edges of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have not read this book, but recently I've gone through a lot of things and I just kept getting drawn to this while I was in here in the shop, and it's just so gorgeous. I had to get it. It's just beautifully presented. So yeah, I'm looking forward to obviously reading the book. It's France, 1714. A desperate woman makes a desperate deal in the dark, a bargain to live forever but be remembered by none. So begins the invisible life of Addie LaRue, shadow muse to artists throughout history, forgotten friend, confidant and lover, slipping away with the morning light. Addie passes through lives, desperate only to leave a trace of herself, until the day she walks back into a small bookshop in Manhattan and meets Henry, who remembers her. After 300 years, Addie's life is restarting, but the devil never plays fair. As Henry and Addie's life start to intertwine, they must face the consequences of their decisions they made and the prices to be paid. It's a dazzling adventure across centuries and continents, history and art. So I'm looking forward to it, and I absolutely love this edition. It kind of sits on my shelf so I can see it really gorgeously. So that was all from the bookshop. That was like a couple of trips there. Then I have some op shop finds and then another BW haul. So yeah. So I did get COVID in the middle of the month, so these two piles were after I got COVID because I was really desperate to get out of the house and out of my bedroom. So yeah. So the first op shop I went to, I found the first book in the Shadow and Bones series, which is a TV show. On the back it's got the other ones, so that's good. Obviously it's a show. I have actually watched the first season of the show already, but that's fine. Blah blah blah. It says on the back, soldier summoned saint, orphaned and expendable. Alina is a soldier who knows she may not survive the first attack across the shadow fold. A swath of unnatural darkness crawling with monsters. But when her regiment is attacked, she unleashes a magic not even she knew she possessed. As a danger to the kingdom melts, she unlocks the secrets of her past. She will make a dangerous discovery that will threaten all she loves and the very future of the nation. Sorry that my voice is going croaky. I'll probably need to cough very, very soon. Oh gosh, I just wish this COVID cough would just get out of my life. I apologize for coughing in the videos. Anyway. But the next op shop, I got these 3 books I found for only $1. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I have been eyeing this book off since last year. And I thought for $1, let's just grab it. On the back it says, a beautiful and distinguished family, a private island, a brilliant damaged girl, a passionate political boy, a group of 4 friends, the liars, whose friendships turn destructive. A revolution, an accident, a secret, lies upon lies, true love, the truth. So yeah, that was awesome to find for $1. And then we grabbed this book here, Girl with a Pearl Earring by Tracy Cavalier. It's set in the 17th century, and it's to meet one of my challenges that I have to read like a book set in like a historical year. So I can choose this one or even The Secret Life of Addie Laurie. So yeah, in the 17th century, rich and poor, Catholic and Protestant, master and servant all know their place. So when Gorette becomes a maid in the household of Painted, she thinks she knows her role. Housework, laundry, the care of her 6 children. She even feels able to handle his shrewd mother-in-law, his restless wife, and their jealous servant. What no one expects is that Gret's quiet manner, quick perceptions, and fascination with her master's paintings will draw her into his world. Their growing intimacy spreads tension and deception in the household as the scandal seeps out, ripples in the town. And it's also a movie to go with my movie TV show books, which I'm sort of collecting. This last book from the op shop is by an author with my own name, first name, Evie. And that's also to me a challenge as well. A fair few of these books are actually. It's by Evie Wild. It's called All the Birds Singing. And yeah, I got it to meet the challenge. It says on the back, Jake is the sole resident of an old farmhouse on an unnamed island, a place of careless rains and battling winds. It's just her untamed companion dog, and flock of sheep, which is how she wanted it to be. But something is coming for the sheep every few nights. One is picked off and left in rags. It could be anything. There are foxes in the woods, a strange boy, a strange man, rumors of an obscure beast, and there's Jake's unknown past as well, perhaps breaking in the present, a story hidden thousands of miles away and years ago. In a landscape of different colour and sounds, a story held in the scars that stripe her back. So yeah, be fun to read a book by an author with my name. And then I've got 4 more books. We're nearly there. These ones are from Big W, and I decided to get the first 3. They're by Holly Jackson, to go along with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I got the rest of the series just while they were all there. in March with the murder mystery books that I was reading. I discovered that I liked the genre, and I also discovered that I love Holly Jackson's writing from reading Five Survive, so I didn't mind buying these. So I got the little book of Killjoy, which is like the what do they call these books? They're like additional things to boost the story. I can't think of the word. Pop a comment below if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's just like a bit more information about how the story started. I'll have to find out if I read this in the middle or the end or the start or whatever. If you know that too, pop a comment below. I also got the second and third book, Good Girl, Bad Blood. And the last one, As Good as Dead. So I've got the whole set now. Oh, should read the back of them here. My apologies. So, Killjoy is... Okay, yeah, it says on the back that it's a prequel. Pippa is not looking forward to her friend's 1920s themed murder mystery party, but when the game begins, Pip finds herself drawn to the make-believe world of intrigue, deception, and murder. As Pip plays detective, teasing the identity of the killer, clue by clue, the murder of the fictional Regina Remy isn't the only case on her mind. So that's that one. That'll be a fun one. And Good Girl, Bad Blood. Someone is missing, no one's talking, but this time everyone is listening. Pip is not a detective anymore. Her true crime podcast about the murder case she solved last year has gone viral. Yet Pip insists her investigations are behind her, but she will have to go back on her word when someone close goes missing and the police can't do anything about it. If they won't investigate, then Pip will uncover more of her dark town secrets. But will she find the answer before the time runs out? And the last one, Dead Girl Walking. Pip is haunted by her last investigation, but as soon as a new case finds her, it's all about Pip. She has a stalker, one who keeps asking who will look after you when you're the one who disappears. She soon discovers a connection between her stalker and the local serial killer, but the police refuse to act. The dangerous game plays out. It's clear that Pip doesn't find the answers. She's as good as dead. So yeah, I am super excited to get to that series. This month in April, I'm actually reading the first book, planning to read the first book. So yeah, that will be awesome. And then obviously in future months, I'll continue with those ones. And the very last book that I bought was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I don't really dive into the land of fantasy and fairies. I did try to last year with The Cruel Prince, but wasn't really into that one. But I'm hoping this one will get me into the fantasy vibe and the fairy world. It's like journal entries or her encyclopedia, and on the back it says Emily is good at many things. She's the foremost expert on the study of fairies. She's a genius scholar and a mentalist. I can't say that, sorry. Researcher who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. But she's not good at people. When she arrives at the village, I'm not going to attempt to say the village name. Emily has no intention of befriending the townsfolk. Not does she care to spend time with another new arrival, her dashing and insufferably handsome rival, Wendell. But as Emily gets closer to and uncovering the secrets of the hidden ones, the most exclusive of all fairies, she finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell? And what does he really want? To find out the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. So it's got a bit of a mystery element to it, and I love mystery, so yeah, hoping to love that. And that is everything. If you made it to the end, pop a comment below or an emoji of book related topic. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Please like, subscribe and hit that bell notification for upcoming videos for books. There will be an April haul sometime, obviously after April's concluded. There will be, of course, my May TBR, and I'm planning next week to do a daily vlog. I have decided to make the week of a life of a book lover into like a day, and I have an exciting day planned next week. I have discovered a couple of new little libraries, so I'm planning on visiting those on the day, but we'll also visit my local bookshop, Kmart, Big W, and the 2 op shops that I love to go to, where I found a lot of books this month. And yeah, I hope that you guys can join me in future book videos. Happy reading, and thank you again for joining me. See you soon. Bye.